So, then I was watching Terry's videos, and let me sit up actually. I was watching Terry's videos and watching some of my videos and thinking about what um, about God and his video about Jesus and his thoughts on that. And I remember my friend Brad, I can't remember if I mentioned him in one of my other videos, but we got into this discussion where he's going to school to become a minister in the spring, or that's his plan, anyway. Um, and we got into this discussion about what God was, and he kind of asked me what my take on it was, and I said, well, I'm not a very religious person. I mean, I'm a spiritual person, but as far as religion goes, I would say that I'm not religious. I don't follow a doctrine of beliefs, and but we started talking, and I was like, I think everything is ingrained. Well, anyway, we started talking about, he was saying, I'll get to that part later, but he was saying that, in religious texts, is that it says that, God reached out of nothing and grabbed onto something and made himself, and he was like, you can't, we can't fathom nothing, is you can't fathom a lack of matter, and that, Einstein, that time doesn't exist outside of the universe. Well, we can't fathom time not existing because it has to exist. There was a period of time before things weren't around, and so that started making us think that maybe God was, or that in a sense that time may prove the existence of God. Is that because of time, because we can't fathom anything else but time or matter, is that proves that there would be a God. And I don't know if I agree with that, but just kind of, I want to start a discussion on that with Terry, or whoever watches this video, or whoever watches Terry's video responses, because I think Terry, I think you have awesome insights, and I really enjoy your videos. But we just talked about that, and then he was asked, like what I was saying earlier, is he asked me what my take on religion and stuff was, and I said, well, I'm not a very religious person. I'm open to the idea of religion, but I haven't found a religion that I think explains everything, and I think that I'm too right all the time, and I don't think that anybody else is as right as me. I'm kind of stubborn that way, but I was talking about how I thought that our world is, we live in a very physical world, and I don't think that there are miracles per se. And I think that there are scientific laws and scientific rules for everything, and that there is no way to break those scientific laws. There's just extremes to any law. So, a miracle is so that God works through miracles. Well, it seems like a miracle to us because we can't understand what's going on. We can't I guess, understand how it works. But I think that there's a scientific basis for that. Is it, for example, Jesus walking on water. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the Dead Sea? Anyway, in the Great Salt Lake, you can't sink. I mean, you can weigh yourself down and sink. Obviously, but the human body has natural buoyancy, no matter what, because there's so much salt in the water. It keeps you buoyant. Basically, non-examples. Basically, is that that there's a supreme being, and he did create everything. Is that he had to create all these. You can't just go in. Can take a computer program. I took computer programming for a few years. is that there has to be a logic behind it, is there has to be rules, and the code has to follow these rules that you put in place, or else it crashes, doesn't work. And so God has created this program, the human or universal program on how things have to work. And since he would create them, he understands the most extreme cases of these laws, and can, through, you know, omnipotence and omniscience, can make these things happen. And so that's what I think miracles are. And I'm just really interested, Terry, to see what you have to say about that, if you agree with me or have a different take on it, or what anybody else has to say. But this is my take, and we've just been talking about it a lot lately, and I just thought I should share that with the rest of the world. For watching.